Radio Rahim here with Ben Whittaker. We are lapping up luxury in Dubai, first of all. I get to see you in a lot of luxurious places. Riyadh was the last one. Saudi Arabia, the UAE is making a big move into boxing. You're a part of it. What's your experience been like? Just fighting in the Middle East, showing up for events like this?
Yeah, it's good. Compared to like home, they treat you well, they drive you around, do this for you, do that for you. It's quite nice. But at the end of the day, you've still got to get there and fight.
Still got to get the job done, right? Exactly. I saw fans going crazy for you downstairs. People want to take pictures and talk to you. Do you feel like the fan base here is growing, and how does it compare to other places you fought?
Yeah, I think it's growing definitely. I think the football with the boxing, they're really getting into the sport. And sometimes it's just for Instagram and stuff like that. But when you speak to them, they know the boxing. They're coming up with some old school boxers. So I think they're definitely looking into the sport. They're learning about the sport. And when you hear some of the names they're bringing up, it's good to hear. Now,
you're a flashy fighter. There's a lot of, I think, appetite for that kind of thing, Nassim was one of the flashiest that we've ever seen. Middle East goes crazy for him. Obviously, boxing went crazy for him. At this point in your career, is that going to continue to be your signature calling card? Because obviously a lot of people are now like, well, what do we see next from Ben Whittaker? Is it the same that we've seen before?
I think that's just me, if I'm honest. Even like some of these guys downstairs, they know me from the amateurs. I've been to the world championships and things like that, and that was my style. But at the end of the day, the end goal for me is winning a world title, hopefully multiple, and calling it a day.
Wait, winning multiple world titles is calling it a day. Are you the kind of guy that's like, I'm going to retire before 30? What do you have an end date in mind?
Yeah, mine was 33. I think 33 is the right age. I think some people stay too long, especially with my style of boxing. When your instincts and reflexes slow down, it's probably the best time to call it a day.
Now, you had what was promoted as your Saudi debut, your coming out party, if you will, for all this region. And obviously it didn't go as you had hoped. It wasn't tragic. There's no L on the record, but it was a tough fight. Maybe tougher than you had anticipated. I didn't get a chance to talk to you after that fight, so if you don't mind, we're just going to revisit that a little bit. On the night, obviously before the incident outside the ring, which we'll get into, what was going wrong?
I was just chilling, if I'm honest, playing my PlayStation, chilling out, things like that. But there's no excuse at the end of the day. I think we're supposed to be having a rematch. And I right the wrongs there. I kind of like what's happening. A lot of people are doubting me, things like that. But when I go and right the wrong, they can stay over that side.
I know it's annoying when people, that were behind you didn't take a shot at you. And that's just part of the sport, though, Even fighters who win and are undefeated like Floyd Mayweather take criticism. So in a situation like this, people were looking at your style coming in the ring, and they want to take a shot at, he's so flashy, so arrogant. He's taking opponents lightly. Does any of that come into play with what happened with Cameron and Riyadh?
Not really. I just use it as fuel. I think through my whole career, there's people say good things, people say bad things, and some people just like to hear the good things. For me, I like to hear the bad things. The bad things for me is what makes me win Olympic medals, what makes me stand away from the crowd. I fuel on bad things like that. So for me, it's only going to make me better.
It did seem like he had more success and just straightforward, walk you down kind of fight style. And with your style, it would have been predicted that you just box circles around him. So what prevented that from happening on that Saturday?
I can't give away everything what happened in the build-up, but it wasn't a performance of what I should have done. Look back at it, and that was nowhere near the Ben Whittaker I know, the Ben Whittaker people know. But when the real Ben Whittaker does turn up, I'll make somebody look like that terrible. If I'm honest, he's not good. He wasn't good at all. And I wasn't good. And the thing is, he still couldn't really do much with a terrible version of me. So when a good version turns up, it's going to be a scary night.
Now, you've heard the stick, and I can't not address it, but I want to give you an opportunity to speak clearly about it. You guys fell over the top rope. I don't know. First of all, do you think that was anybody's fault?
You don't want to start blaming people. It was just a weird thing that happened. He pushed on me. There's only so much I could take. My back was nearly breaking. And then I landed on my ankle funny. of course, there's a lot of stick. Oh, he threw himself over the rope. I ain't Rey Mysterio. And I'm saying the WWE. At the end of the day, if I wanted to make up an excuse, I would have probably said my neck or my back. Because from the video, it looks like that. But I actually landed on my ankle funny. And the good thing is I went to the straight to the emergency room. They did an MRI, X-ray, and it came up with an injury. So at the end of the day, I've not published it. I'm not one of those people that, oh, look, I've got the receipts. I don't need to do that. The people around me saw the X-ray. They saw the doctor's scans. I've done the rehab, done what I need to do, and I'm back.
Do you feel, though, any need to prove these people wrong who immediately said, oh, Whittaker quit. He was looking for a way out. The ankle's an excuse. Yeah. You know, all the things that you've already heard. If you have a piece of evidence to shut that down, why not publish it?
Well, I went to the Olympics with a torn rotator cuff. You didn't hear me mention it then. I lost in the final. I didn't really mention it after. It's just the person I am. I don't need to prove to people that don't even get in the ring. Most of these people can't even get in the ring, so I know what happened. I know the injury. It's all well and good. Come back, beat his ass up, and move to the next.
I know, like any young man, sometimes when people wind you up and stick at you when it's a sore spot, you can have an outsized reaction. I mean, you are a fighter. Yeah. So apparently before you could even get out of Riyadh, this happened. We don't usually see a fighter mix it up with a civilian. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're on about, man. I don't know what you're on about, but no comment.
I mean, you know, just listen, without having to address like the specificity of the issue, I would like to talk to you about the mental toughness that it takes and the maturity that an experience like this can bring to a young fighter like you, hot spotlight, in a moment that, like you said, wasn't your best, didn't shine as you had hoped. What has that taught you, and what has it been like coming through all of these doubts and moments and having to reconcile that with yourself?
I just think it's one of those things. People see sports people, celebrities, movie, the list goes on. They don't think you're a human. At the end of the day, if people are coming in with phones in your faces and recording and doing this, you're only going to react like a normal person would. And that's what people need to realize. Yeah, we get in there and put our lives on the line. We do this and do that. We do it for our family. But away from the ring, we're just like you. We've got feelings just like you. And if you push that wrong button, you can get hurt. You know what I mean?
Just like you.
Just like you. Yeah. So at the end of the day, boxing, it's kind of like WWE. You find your own character. You find what works. But the fighting's real. But away from that, you're a normal person. And some people don't get the image you portray is maybe not the real person. And that's it.
Well, of course, Liam Cameron has taken every advantage to make the most of a draw. Yeah. But, you know, it's stands to reason that he would want the rematch. I'm assuming you want the rematch.
Yeah, of course I want the rematch. I think it's the right thing to do next, just to right that wrong for myself, really, just to show how good I really am. And then move on. You know, I think he's getting a bit too much recognition, like you said, for a draw. At the end of the day, it's a draw. And if he won or something like that, fair enough, man. I'd give him a round of applause. But at the end of the day, it was a draw. I'd be a little... Yeah, you're in the limelight now. Get you a little bit of shine because it will come to an end soon.
Well, to Turki Al-Sheikh's credit, he makes fights happen when they should happen. We're already seeing the Bivol Beterbiev rematch. That's amazing. I don't think we would have seen that in another era of boxing. Has this fight, your rematch, already been put on the table? Have we had a discussion about when this can take place?
No, I actually never no discussion, but I spoke to my manager. I said, that's the next fight for me. I think it's the next fight. 100% it has to be. I think if you go into another fight, it'll look a bit weird. But it's down to him as well. I'm down for it, but he might, I want it. And he might pick something else. I don't know what he's going to do. But for me, that's the next fight.
For you, unless he turns it down flat, that's 100% the next fighter you want to see in the ring.
100%, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's got people talking now. And I think so early on in my career, it's a good rematch. Can he do it? Will he not do it? And when I go and do what I do, it will stop a lot of people talking.
You think this whole experience has matured you at all or changed your approach to the profession you're in?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't want to say like Jerome McClellan, but kind of like Jerome McClellan in a way where I was cheapskating it. You know what I mean? Instead of paying for the best strength and conditioning, best nutritionist, I was going, I'll just use people I know, man, and stuff like that. And now I know as much as how hard I train, I'm a professional in the gym. We just need those little things. Even going to bed at the right time. I'll be playing my PlayStation at like 4 a.m. That catches you up, man. So it's just those little things, just being a professional in every walk of life.
All right, we'll put our masks on here.
But yeah, just be a professional in all walks of life, and that's what I'm doing now. And cut the donuts out.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're a professional in this moment because a lot of fighters would be cagey, not be transparent, not be forthcoming, and want to, tuck up and hide from the cameras and microphone. You can portray yourself well. Everybody goes through things, but I appreciate you being willing to talk about it, being candid about it, being pleasant, man. That's all it takes. That's professionalism, that's maturity, and that's appreciated. Radio Rahim with Ben Whittaker.